Hey guys, it's CarGuy11. Welcome to CarGuy11 Live, where we talk about the most exciting news of the week and the last few weeks. I haven't done a live stream recently, but yeah, we're going to talk about some of the debuts at the Chicago Auto Show, which was this week. Nothing too exciting, so we're going to mix in a lot of other car news as well. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, we're going to review some of the videos I've done since the last Car Guy 11 Live, which was, I believe, early January. So it looks like about once a month I can do these, try to do them and time them with some of the auto shows. And last month it was with the CES show. So we talked about the future, actually. But yeah, so let's review a little bit. I'm gonna try to pull the stream up, make sure you guys are watching and can see. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Yep, got a couple people on. You could definitely say hi in the chat. Let me know who's here and give me your thoughts on discussion. And we could talk about anything really. So it's not just tied to these stories, but. All right, so let's see. The last where we left off. Last live stream we talked about the future, as I said. That was a pretty cool discussion. Did that on a Saturday morning, so I'm not sure how many people saw that. But next we talked about the Z06, and we could talk about that even more tonight. Talked about the engine that was going to go into it. Looks like the flat plane crank V8 is headed into it. 5.5 liter probably. Not sure if it's naturally aspirated. Probably naturally aspirated. That's what I talked about in this video. A lot of people are still saying twin turbo, so we can even discuss that tonight if you guys want. Next, I drove a diesel Grand Cherokee, and we talked about, is it worth the diesel engine? A pretty cool video. Decent amount of views on it as well. Definitely check that one out if you haven't. Give me your thoughts. It was an interesting vehicle. There was an interesting quirk with that vehicle as well. Not many people commented about it, but definitely watch in the beginning of the video. I talk about that one. Then we had some issues with my Jeep again, and which is why I had the Jeep Grand Cherokee. So we talked about that. Fortunately, that's all taken care of now. And then we did a little mod to the Supra. While it's winter here, did some fun thing to it. Put some caliper decals, dress it up a little bit. Strange, they're blank on that vehicle. So yeah, so we just got a little creative there, and yeah, had some little fun. So stay tuned for more Super videos. There'll be some more Jeep videos, and of course Corvette as well. So anyway, guys, let's move on to the first story. This comes from Chicago Auto Show, and it's Jeep related. So Jeep introduced a new Mojave trim for the Wrangler, or for the Renegade. No, sorry, for the Gladiator. And this is actually kind of to compete with the Raptor. It has the Fox shocks. It's especially tailored towards high-speed off-roading, so Baja type sand. It has the Fox shocks. It has a different transfer case. It has the base Wrangler transfer case instead of the Rubicon, which is the 4-to-1. This has the 2.72, I believe, to 1. So you can do a little bit more high speed and 4 low. It also has this off-road plus button, which I believe all the Gladiators get. I don't know why they said it's only on this model, but that is a button which tailors the throttle response, transmission, and everything. Also, you can lock the rear axle in 4 high, which is pretty cool. and same engines, but it does have this cool hood scoop, which is fake, but I think it does look pretty cool. And I think they will be putting the diesel in this eventually. The Gladiator is scheduled to get that in 2021. But another one that they showed there, and this is actually pretty cool, I think. I know probably a lot of people don't like it, but it's called the high altitude version. And what it is a fully decked out Wrangler and the Gladiator. Let me pull up the Gladiator pictures here. What it is a street version with 20-inch wheels, and I think it's a great idea, honestly, because most people don't take it off road. This is like the G-Wagon Mercedes, and just dress it up, put as fancy as you want in there, and people will pay. I think it's pretty cool. They're so expensive now that a lot of people wouldn't want to off-road it. This is the Wrangler version, and you can get it in different colors, but all black bumpers, black gloss wheels, and like I said, that nice interior. I think it's a great idea. So what do you guys think of that? And these are more all-terrain, more street tires, not too not too aggressive. So I think it's a good idea. I think Jeep should capitalize and give customers what they want and make money. I mean, they need to be profitable to pay for other things. So I don't have any problems with that. I know probably a lot of people don't like the street versions of it. But all right, let's get to some cars. And next we have a refresh of the Civic Type R, which is a minor refresh. Still has the same crazy looks. They updated the suspension to be a little bit more comfortable, updated the brakes. Same power, 306 horsepower. They also gave it a Alcantara shifter and steering wheel, and has active sound control, which is an engine sound enhancing thing. I don't like that. You guys know I took that off my Supra, disabled it, and I don't like that. I don't know. Maybe it will sound better with the 4-cylinder. I don't know why they add that though on a sports car. But I really can't get into this car. I think it's cool, but with the styling and then front wheel drive, I just can't do front wheel drive. So nothing I'm really interested in, but a cool car nonetheless. Another one I really can't get into is the Ford GT. Now this one's strange. This is the 2020 model. They updated it, but it's already sold. So like, I mean, they're not making any more for people. They are already sold. So now the people in line to get them next will be a 2020 model, and they raised the horsepower 13 horsepower by increased cooling, more airflow, and also there's these special editions here, this carbon edition. I mean, it looks great, but over 400,000 for these cars. So I just think it's a little bit funny that they're already sold, yet they're updating it. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's good. They didn't say if it was going to cost anymore, but in fact, they said that titanium exhaust was going to be standard, which is a $10,000 option. So, and this is the livery, pretty cool looking. But yeah. So that was news from Chicago there. Now, that was pretty much the most exciting news from Chicago. So now we're going to move on to other news. And earlier this week, GM Cadillac introduced the new Escalade. So what's strange is GM continues to boycott auto shows. They are not introducing anything of relevance at auto shows. I think they had a trim level of the Equinox that they showed at Chicago, but I mean, a refresh of the Equinox, but still, like, this was literally the day before the Chicago Auto Show that they had a private event. Why not just have it at Chicago? I don't get it. I don't know if it's the cost thing. I don't know if it's just they want to, not compete with the other debuts there, but really there's not many debuts there. Exciting debuts there. This would have been great to be in Chicago, and I'm sure Chicago sells a lot of these. I mean, there's a lot of money there, so it's just a continuing boycott of auto shows, which is sad in my opinion. Because if I can get into the auto shows, I can't get into these private events, and I would never be able to go to the reveal of something like this, and including the C8, which you all know. But anyway, back to the Escalade. I do like it. I kind of wish they didn't do the horizontal headlights. I like the vertical. I like the vertical ones. They're starting to do this on the new models, the CT5, CT4. They're doing a horizontal headlight with the vertical DRLs. I think it looks good. They took away the chrome. This is a sport model. And the big news here, though, is the interior. Let me see. And then, yeah, I think it looks sharp. Of course, it's the same updates as the Yukon and the Tahoe. It's longer, more interior room. This is the chrome grille. And the big news inside is the large screen here, and it's an OLED and it's curved, which is pretty cool. No announcements on cost here, but I'm sure it's going to be well over 100,000 in the top trims. But it is sharp. I think the interior is very nice, and you'll see these around transporting executives, sports guys, and yeah, big families. So yeah, pretty cool. What do you guys think of the new Escalade? All right, next is a little bit of an older debut. A few weeks ago, Porsche announced the GTS version of the Cayman. And this was a car, the Cayman, that I was interested in. If you guys don't know, this summer I had 4 cars I was considering, including the GT4 Cayman, and I went with the new Supra. And the reason is I wasn't thrilled with the power. The power increase was slight, and then no increase in torque. Now this is the same engine as the GT4 in the new GTS, slightly detuned, 394 horsepower, 309 pound-feet of torque again. When I saw that torque number, I'm like, what is going on? Why can't they increase the torque with a larger displacement 6-cylinder? This has the same amount of torque as the old GT4, the 2016. So I did some digging. I found an article, and it is limited by the 6-speed transmission, the manual transmission. Yes, everybody wants a manual, but guess what? This manual is the only one that fits in the Cayman, and it's limiting this torque. This torque number should be way higher. And that's what I'm disappointed of. The 0 to 60 is around 4.5 seconds, which my Supra blows it away. So, and the gear ratios of the 6-speed manual are very tall. They're taller than the 911. They're just not fun ratios. You only use first and second, and you're like, I think 90 miles an hour or something in second gear. So it's really ridiculous. I really want the PDK. I know it's an auto, but I really want to see the PDK in this model. Then I'd very much consider it. Right now, though, it's not very powerful, and it's a lot of money still to pay. They're thinking it's going to start around 90,000. Nothing official yet, which is 10,000 less than the GT4. But again, at that point, would you just spend the 10 and get the GT4, which will hold its value more? That's a tough call. Plus, I like the wing on the GT4. I love the Cayman. This is, of course, I'm sorry, showing. I'm showing you the box there. Here's the Cayman. Both models are the same. But yeah, I love the Cayman. I just wish they offered the PDK for the gear ratio and the performance. But I know what they're afraid of. They're afraid that the performance will creep up on the 911. And of course, this is cheaper than the 911. So they are limiting the power for that reason. The 911 and this transmission, the 6-speed, is limiting it as well. So tell me what you guys think of that. Right now, I'm waiting. They said that it's possible that they'll put the PDK in, and I really hope they do, because I think they'll boost the engine power, and with the gear ratios, it'll boost the performance by a lot. All right, next story. C8. We got Corvette news here. So they announced the official lap time of the C8, and it is 7 minutes 28.3 seconds. So that's a pretty decent time. They list some times here of the oh, wait a second. 2020. Oh, that's odd. 7:20. Oh, rumors. No, the official time is 7. Okay, sorry. The official time is 7:29.9. Okay, about 7:30. But there's other Corvettes here that beat it. Of course, the ZR1s beat it, and then the C7 Z06 beat it pretty good as well. Unfortunately, they don't list the C7 Z51, which would be the model that really compares to it. They have a C6 here, way slower. But I did some digging. I found on the Corvette forum a C7 Z51, which is the model I have, at 7:33, which is really only 3 seconds slower than the mid-engine new Corvette. So, what do you guys think of that? I think the weight here is definitely hurting it. Yes, it has more power, but I think it's overcome by the 200-pound weight gain. The dual clutch definitely helps here, and the weight distribution helps here. But 3 seconds over 13 miles, yes, it's an improvement, but it's not that much of an improvement. And on a shorter track, you're not going to see much of an improvement. This is a very, very long track. So there's a reason they're not publishing the C7 Z51. So just be aware, everyone's hyped up about the C8, but there's a lot of marketing involved here, and it's not as good as everyone thinks. The transmission really helps this. The dual clutch is really the winner here. That's going to help the performance, but the weight gain, and that's really hurting performance. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that one. And then one last one I want to talk about, which just happened today. The new Bronco is coming out probably at the Detroit Auto Show in June this year. But this is the two-door now, spy photos of the two-door. So we saw spy photos of the 4-door, and now here we go with the 2-door, which is pretty exciting. Um, this is something I would consider. I like, I have my Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. This is something I would consider, but also if it's too Wrangler like, then it might be too hardcore for me. I want something that's good handling and comfortable commuting and on the highway and stuff like that. But it looks pretty cool. I kind of like the 2-door. So I'm excited for the reveal. I hope they reveal the 4 and 2-door at the same time in Detroit. But there's a possibility they could only reveal one or the other, and then have it delayed. Now, there's also supposed to be escape version, baby Bronco escape version, but we haven't really heard when that's going to debut or seen much of that one. But that's another one I'd consider, but might be a little bit too small or too, I don't know. But anyway, guys, what do you guys think of all those stories? I try to keep these relatively short here so you can watch them back and give me your thoughts in the comments. But some exciting things going on. Of course, the C8 started production this week. So yeah, it's February now, and we're going to be seeing them soon, maybe by the end of the month, probably more likely in March. And I really hope I get to drive one, and see what the buzz is about, and maybe change my mind on it. I do like it, but I'm just not all in the hype that it's the best car ever. I'm really want to consider the Z06 version, and that would be more interesting to me. A new engine, with the dual clutch, that would, and then the wing and the better styling. I'm excited to see that version come out. I don't think we'll see it this year though at an auto show. Well, considering GM's boycotting auto shows, but anyway, guys, definitely follow me on Instagram so you know when I do these. You can see my stories and posts, and Facebook as well. I try to. I can't really give much notice, a day or two at the most, but otherwise, you can definitely watch these back and give me your comments below. So, all right, guys, have a good weekend. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.